Hello and welcome to another episode of 2 Minutes with Tim here on Have Word Thinking. Today we're going to look at Proverbs chapter 11 verses 3 through 4. So I'll read it and we'll get right into this week's challenge. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity. Wealth is worthless in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. Just like last week, we talked about Proverbs chapter 11, verses 1 through 2. We see here a couple teachings that may seem to be unrelated, but are super important and practical for our daily living. Right in the first verse here, verse 3, we see the difference between integrity and duplicity and where those paths lead. We see that all throughout the book of Proverbs, different paths, the righteous, the unrighteous, and different words to describe those types of people. Here we see the difference between those of integrity and those of duplicity or unfaithfulness. And we see that it leads somewhere. Both categories lead to a certain destination. First, the integrity of the upright guides them being along the right path to do the right things, to follow after God, while the unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity. And so, as Christians, we should learn from verses like these that point us toward integrity. We should be people of integrity, of honesty, of character, of godliness, and not be unfaithful, not be full of duplicity. We don't want to be people that lack integrity. Instead, we need to be people of integrity, to be different than those around us. If we're not, as Christians, people of integrity, what makes us any different than everyone else around us, trying to do things on their own and not caring about integrity that comes from following after God? And so my challenge for you in that verse this week is to be people of integrity. And then we see in verse 4 that wealth is worthless in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. Again, as Christians, we're called to be different than the world around us. The world around us pursues wealth. Wealth is something that so many people in our society, the majority of our society, I would say, focuses their lives around. We build our lives all around trying to be as prosperous, as wealthy as we can, acquire as many possessions and as many fun toys as possible. But that's not going to save us. As it says, it's worthless in the day of wrath. But on the other hand, righteousness delivers from death. As Christians, we should seek after righteousness, the righteousness that comes from being people who seek after God rather than people who seek after wealth and prosperity. And so my challenge for you this week is to be very different than those around you. Instead of building your life around the pursuit of wealth and prosperity, build your life upon the pursuit of righteousness, pursuing Jesus Christ and how he wants you to live day in and day out. That's my challenge for you this week, and I hope you'll join us next time for another episode of 2 Minutes with Tim here on Heavenward Thinking.